Hello, welcome to Signfest 2021. My name is Gail Shenfish. I'm the teacher here at Casper College. I work with Maria Paris from Kelly Walsh High School and also with Joni Mainen, who works at Dean Morgan Middle School here in Casper, Wyoming. We have worked collaboratively for Signfest this week. This year, we are excited to present to you Peter Cook. He will be showing you a compilation of many years of stories for your enjoyment. This past week, students have been involved in Signfest, each at their own respective schools, and have been active with learning ASL and also learning about deaf culture. We're really excited to welcome you tonight. We'd also like to extend our thanks for the Casper College Foundation Board, as well as the Board of Cooperative Educational Services, who have helped support and fund this event. Thank you.
Hello! It's wonderful to see you. I'm Peter Cook. Thank you for watching me for this performance. I'm in my home. You see all my books? I love reading. I have little trinkets too that I think are very cute. They're from my travels. I've collected them over time. Shoot, I wish we could meet in person, but alas we can't. But today, I'm going to show you my works since 1994. These are all different clips of short videos. You'll see me young and old, thick and thin, all in variation of my hair too, being short and long. These are an anthology of my works. Some of them are funny, some of them are heart-touching, some of them are gross. They're in good taste. I hope that in the future we could meet in person again. When this is all over, I'll be there. So enjoy, sit back in the privacy of your home, get some popcorn and a drink, but don't choke, and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
In the sky, over Gotham City, a light searches for Batman. Out of the Batcave comes the Batmobile. Ching. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Batman. Help! Trouble in the factory? Machinery. Puching, 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 puching. Oh no! Hmm? The Joker. The Joker's henchman. Look at this guy. Come on, come on, come on, I'll take you. I'll knock you right down. Come on. A knife-wielding maniac.
Cut you. I'm gonna cut you up into little tiny pieces so they can't even find. Where did it go? Where did it? Ah!
And a gunslinger.
Don't move. Don't move, Batman. Don't move. I'll shoot you. I swear, I'll shoot you. Don't move.
And a mad bomber.
I got something for you, Batman. I got something right here. It's all for you.
No problem.
Oh. Whoosh. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh! Two down. Whoosh. Ah! I'm gonna get. Oh.
And when the dust settles, Batman has vanquished all of Joker's henchmen.
Oh!
Psh. Hello, Joker.
Uh-oh. Oh! Hi, Batman.
Good night, Joker.
Oh! Help, 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 help! Help, help, help!
I must turn the machine off. Where's the handle? Uh-oh. On, off. On, off. What will Batman do? To be continued. Tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
When I was a little boy, I went to a deaf residential school named Clark School for the Deaf. It was a strictly oral school, meaning no signing allowed. We had to learn how to speak. I remember like it was yesterday. I was a very good boy. I always did whatever the teacher said. Homework was always turned in on time. Any additional work I was always willing to do. If they wanted me to clean the classroom, I was willing to do that. I was a good boy. However, one day I got thrown out of class. And you want to know why? I'll tell you. It's a little embarrassing, but I'll tell you. The reason I got thrown out of class was because I farted. I did. Now, understand, my school was in New England. And for lunch, we would have baked beans. Now, a big thing of baked beans was butter melted all over it. And then we'd have French onion soup. Woo. And then we'd have Boston brown bread. You know, Boston brown bread with the raisins. 100% fiber. Woo, doggy. Eat that with butter. And then for dessert, we'd have chocolate pudding. Woo! Woo! Interesting. All the food's brown. Anyway, so I'm walking to class, and after eating this, I'm having this horrible gas. I mean, it's like a little party going on in my insides. Well, I go into math class, and I sit down, and the teacher, Miss Remy, with this beehive hairdo and these horn-rimmed glasses, she'd sit. We'd all sit. And class, now, understand how class was laid out. We didn't have tables laid out like in a normal classroom. Our tables were all in a half-moon semicircle. And the tables were connected to like a little port where you could put in your headphones. And every kid had headphones. And then along the ceiling, we had a big microphone hanging from the top of the class. And that would go down to an amplifier, with a little meter on it. And, make sure it was loud enough for all of us to hear. Well, I'm sitting there oh my God, trying to hold in this thing. I really have to let one, and it'd be huge. The sound would travel. It would knock books off of shelves. Causing that meter to just go crazy in the amplifier. All the kids would jump out of their seats because they have this huge sound coming into their ears. Well, anyway, we used to have this silly game. Not like, if you're driving down the road and you see a Volkswagen Bug, what do? You smack the other kid, right? And you go, slug bug, blue bug, no slugs back, right? Well, same idea. If you farted in a room as kids, we would do this. That, right? Practice with me. All right, so pretend someone's farted. Now go ahead, do this. Do this. You. Oh, the guy in the back from Alaska was the last one to put his hand on his head. That means blame him. He did it, right? Well, that's the game. We used to play that game. Well, I'm in math class, and I'm sitting there. And just, no, I couldn't hold it anymore. And it knocked the books off of the shelves. That sound went up, hit that microphone, went down to the amplifier, made every kid jump out of their chairs. Ah! And I did this, and every other kid did this too. Ah! And Miss Remy looks around, and this is what happened. Oh my goodness, you boys. Shh. Boys, you all... You go to the principal right now. And the reason we were sent to the principal because of this. That's the sign for father. And we weren't allowed to sign. Remember, my school didn't allow any sign language. And that's how I got thrown out of class. Ha! America. The Statue of Liberty. Her torch alight bears witness to these events. Her torch is extinguished. She removes her crown, and for the first time leaves her post. towards the city. She enters New York and looks at the destruction from the blast. Cars askew. Buildings destroyed. Debris falling.
Boom. Boom.
Past shattered windows.
Boom. Boom.
Firemen look up to see her pass. Policemen look up to see her pass. Paramedics look up to see her pass.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Towards the wreckage of Ground Zero. Lines of rescue workers. She gives them a helping hand. From the wreckage, she fashions a new crown. From the flames of Ground Zero, she relights her torch. America restored.
I want to talk about something very serious. Something that's going to impact you the rest of your life. The kiss. The little lip movement. There's different types of kisses. For example, you have the parent kissing their children kiss. You have the little sister kissing her big brother. Or you have the giggling kiss. A popular kiss amongst the 13 to 15-year-olds, and it looks like this. You even have the kiss of death. The European kiss. 3 or 4? 3 or 4? I don't know the rules. You have the American kiss. Hey, how you doing there, buddy? There's different types of kisses. But you will never forget your first kiss. Do you remember yours? I remember mine. I was 15. I remember I went on a date with a girl named Sally. She had feathered blonde hair, sun-kissed freckles, blue eyes, and plump lips. As a teenager, in my bedroom, I had posters from popular TV shows. Behind me, on one wall, was a huge Charlie's Angels poster that looked like this. And then I had one of Farrah Fawcett Majors. All these different pictures of Farrah. That was my true love until I met Sally. I took down those posters of Farrah and put them away for a future day. Then I took some Polaroid pictures of Sally. Took forever for them to develop. But once they were ready, I tacked them to my wall. That was my true love. So on our date, we decided to go to the zoo. I was only 15, give me credit. I've gotten better over the years. So to get ready for my date, I picked my best digs. I had a 100% polyester shirt with pictures of the moon and the star all around. I had on my 100% polyester institutional green bell bottoms. I had on my platform shoes. I was ready to move and groove. I was staying alive, staying alive. You can tell by the way I walked. I grabbed a flower and went through the poem. She loves me not, she loves me. She loves me not, she loves me. She loves me not, and realized there was no more petals to pick. So I picked one up off the ground and finished this poem by ripping it in half and saying, she loves me. I arrived to Sally's house, took a little shot of Banaka, and I was about to knock when I remembered she was deaf. So what was I going to do? How was I going to let them know that I was outside knocking on the door? Tell me. Give me some ideas. Really? You want me to crawl through the window? Hey, I'm here! No, that's not going to impress the parents. What else? Oh, ring the flashing lights. You get a gold star sticker today, buddy. So I rang the doorbell, which prompted the lights to flash, and the door opened, and there stood beautiful Sally. My heart was aflutter. Hi, are you ready? I have a flower for you. It has no petals, but look behind me. Those are for you. Come on, let's go. And the two of us walked down the street, enjoying our date at the zoo. We saw all the different animals. We came upon the giraffe with its long neck, eating the leaves off the tree. After that, we saw the mighty lion of the jungle. We saw a silverback ape. It was the perfect date. We went on a boat ride. Sally was sitting in front, her fingers streaming in the water, me playing the gondola. Me, being deaf, went back to rowing the boat. We even sat down for some ice cream. And shared. All day this lasted, till finally we found ourselves sitting on a bench. The sun was setting, and I got closer and closer. Our arms started to touch. Then I finally did the oldest trick that man knows. Did the reach around. You know that one, right? The yawn and hug. Of course you do. You were born with this. It's in your DNA. She didn't complain. So I stayed there. And then I started to look at her. She looked at me with her beautiful eyelashes fluttering. I leaned in, beads of sweat, heart palpitating. She also leaned in. The kiss was about to happen, sweat pouring off my body in anticipation, until finally she said, "You want to hurry it up there, buddy?" And I went for it. There's something I forgot to tell you. If your children's teeth are overcrowded and they need some dental work, you take them to the orthodontics. They get some braces put on. Nowadays, braces, they have the Invisalign. The brace is so thin you can't even see. There's different color. There's blue, there's red, there's green, there's rainbow, there's flashing glow-in-the-dark braces. Anything you want. But when I was growing up in the 70s, we didn't have those kind of braces. We had the heavy-duty industrial steel bands. And then we had those huge hooks coming off the braces. We look like this. Like the creature alien coming out of the guy's stomach. Add to that those heavy-duty, thick rubber bands that we had to use. You could hit the Eiffel Tower and knock it off its foundation. And you had to put those on your hooks. I was wearing a set of those braces, but I was not the only one. Sally had on identical braces. So now, let's see what happens. We were stuck, locked together. When people walked by, we tried to play it off. Hey, yep, getting some. All right. I was trying to apologize to Sally when all of a sudden she screamed with her deaf voice. Knocked me off my feet. G-forces. Her scream was heard throughout the park. The street cleaners looked over to see what was happening. The lion heard the scream and looked over. A police officer radioed in for some backup. A mother pushing her baby saw what was happening. The baby popped up to see what was happening. People gathered around to try to pull us apart. The police officer grabbed me. A fireman grabbed Sally. The emergency crew got on both sides of us to try to use the jaws of life to pry us apart. Nothing worked. Nothing was happening. The lion even jumped in. Till finally, we were pulled apart. We went flying through the air. We got up. And that's when I realized my braces were missing. And hers were too. We looked down at the ground and saw, in the middle of the sidewalk, our braces were still interlocked in the kiss. So, you young people out there who just saw this story, be careful. This is my warning to you. Be careful who you pick your first kiss with. You might be stuck with them forever.
United States of ASL Poetry. Here we go! Woohoo! We begin our tour in New York City, where the Statue of Liberty lights a poem. Hey, what are you looking at? Woohoo! Woo! Woohoo! Whoa! Down the Atlantic coast, across forested lands, to the Mississippi River, where moonlight dances, pushing along an old riverboat. Floating down south, to New Orleans, home of smoky jazz, soul of the blues. An old blues singer howls. All right, and here we go. Woo! Shooting across the desert of the Southwest, past the cacti. Tumbleweeds tumbling. Blowing in gunslingers and desperados. Ding! Whoa! Whoa! On to Las Vegas and the one-armed bandits. Jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. Hey, a win's a win, all right. Roll your dice and take your chance. Woo! Further west over the Pacific Ocean to the city of Los Angeles, where the surfer dudes are catching like some really gnarly waves. Hang 10, dude. Oh man, I'm thrashing the pipe. Up over the cliffs of Santa Monica to Hollywood, land of fancy cars and superstars.
Oh,
Glamour,
Get our autograph.
fame,
Maybe we could get an autograph.
wealth,
Please, just
Just
wave
look
to me.
over here.
Beauty.
Just for a minute. Just wave. Please. Pow, 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 Cameras roll. Lights flash. Permanent poetry in cement.
Hey, that looks like fun. Yeah, you think we should do it? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. All right, ready? Ready? Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Up over the rocky cliffs of the West Coast to San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge. Knock it off. To the haiku cafes and the Parade beatniks find inspiration in their coffee.
Hey, look at that guy.
Landing further east, hiking up the Rockies, over a valley. A bald eagle. Searches out with sharpest eyes. In the river below is dinner. Climbing to the top of the world. The sun sinks lower as the moon rises high.
Oh.
coyotes howl transcends harmony. From between the trees, a man, painted warrior, original rhyme. He shoots, and the clouds return their favor by lending us rain. Rain to flood. Rain to nourish. Over the great plains of the Midwest. Past a farmhouse. Past a silo. A farmer. Harvesting crops of poetry. Meh. 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 Meh.
Hey there, Mr. Cow. Let's get out of here. Whoa!
Over the Appalachian Mountains, all the way to the capital, past the reflecting pool, and up the steps to a memorial. A man sits, his initials spelled out on his hands, Abraham Lincoln. And as our journey comes to an end, my hand raises a flag over the nation, over our nation, the United States of ASL Poetry.
Let me tell you something. Every now and again, I go to the theater or some sort of lecture or presentation. Well, there's an interpreter there, on stage or sitting doing something. And often I'll look at another deaf friend and we'll start chatting. Well, we forget that the interpreter is watching us, that they can see us. Well, we thought, what's the list of things that interpreters hate to see deaf people do? What's the worst things they really hate? Well, you know that TV show, David Letterman? You know the guy with the gap in his teeth and holding the coffee cup, throwing pencils? That guy. Well, he always has a top 10 list. Well, I have my own top 10 list. My top 10 list is the top 10 things interpreters hate to see deaf people do. Oh, you see that? That's funny. Oh, it's serious? Oh, sorry. What? Oh, ooh, Hey, what's that? Oh. Hey, I missed what they were saying. What were they saying? Yeah, right. I'm mad at you. I caught you having an affair with my husband. I'm gonna wring your neck. Psst. Hey, yeah. You have something green between your teeth. No, not over there. No. That other side. Yeah, right. That. Yeah, no, it's still there. Eesh. Oh man, this is so boring. This interpreter's terrible. I don't understand anything going on. This interpreter certified? Seriously? CICT? Oh my god, they're terrible. Oh, no, you were great. Great job, really.
Hey, you're still here. Great. Remember when you were little and your parents were celebrating their birthday? What presents could you give them? Because you had no money, you had to be very creative. Some of you might have given them a card that you made from a marker pen. Some of you might have got up really early in the morning and made them some cereal, bacon, and eggs to celebrate their birthday. Others of you might have made little IOU promise notes to clean the house or wash the car later. Well, let me tell you what I did when I was a little boy and I had no money. I remember this one time we lived in a very small house on a single lane road. Next to us was a gas station that I remembered because they always gave me candy. Next to them was the barber shop. I remember them because they also always gave me candy. Next to them was the mom and pop local drugstore. And I definitely remember them because they never gave me candy. And across the street was a church, but we'll save that for another story. And there was our house. And behind our house were fields of corn. And I remember being a little boy hiking through these fields on a particular hot day in the middle of July. And it was my mom's birthday. I was pondering on what I should get her. What could a little boy get for their mom? I had no money. The year before, I made her some clay figures. Her head was this big, and her body was a stick figure. And I put the two pieces together, put them in the oven for the clay to harden. An hour passed, and I took out the present and realized it had broken into two. The head would not stick to the body. So that year, I gave her two presents. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to top that. And on my walk, I suddenly came upon a strange-looking object. And upon further inspection, I saw that it was a box. It was a heart-shaped box. That was my mom's favorite shape. And her favorite color was red. So I decided to take this heart-shaped box and paint it red. That would be her present. I ran into the house, gathered some newspapers, laid them out all over the living room floor, got my can of paint, and painted this heart-shaped box red. And I remember seeing my mom in the kitchen making her own birthday cake. I always had my mom make her own birthday cake. And if you haven't tried that yet, you should. Tell your parents to make their own cake. And my mom's favorite cake was an orange cake with the rind mixed into the batter, the aroma filling the house, the sweet smell of Florida. And she was in the kitchen making this cake. And I also need to let you know we have 2 pets, a cat and a dog. The cat's name is Morgani. And it was a fat cat. If I was to try to pick up the cat, its feet would still be dragging on the ground. And I dragged this fat cat all over the house. This cat never moved. Even when we tried to feed the cat, we had to drag him over to the cat dish. We had to drag the cat over to the kitty litter box. This cat never moved. That was Morgani. And our dog was an Alaskan Husky mix. It was an outside dog. And the dog's name was G-U-F because when I was little, I did not use sign language and I was not good at reading lips. One day I asked my mom the name of the dog and she did this. While those lips were moving, I caught a G, a U, and an F in there somewhere. So I named the dog Guff. To this day, I still don't know the dog's real name. Guff was an outside dog. If he ever came into the house, the first thing he would do was piddle all over the hardwood floors. So let's set up the situation again. My mom was in the kitchen making her cake, and my dad just arrived home from work. He really loves my mom because he had this huge present. My mom brought the orange cake into the kitchen, and she lit the candles. And they were about to blow out the candles, and I said, "Hold on, the whole family has to be here, Mom." And she said, "But your father's there, you're here, and I'm here." And I said, "Mom, come on now. Where's Morgani and Guff? They're part of our family." Hello? Jeez, Mom. So my father went outside to get Guff, and I dragged Morgani over to the kitchen and placed the cat onto the table, and the table started to sag. The fat cat. My dog had Guff on a leash. And he decided to tie the dog to one of the legs of the table and told him to sit. So now, finally, the family was accounted for. So my mom again lit the candles and we were about to sing this song, but again, I didn't know how to sign and I really couldn't talk. But I wanted to sing happy birthday to my mom, so I did this. What? It worked. She laughed. She understood. So she blew out the candles. And now it was time to give her the presents. I said, "Dad, you go first." And she opened up this huge box and reacted like this. And she said, "This is something I wanted for so long. Thank you, honey. It's so beautiful. It's a blue winter coat. Thank you." Now let me tell you something. My mom and dad came together and did something I never saw before. They did the French kiss. Do you know what that is? It looks like this to a kid. Gross. I don't mind seeing it at the movie theaters, or even myself practicing on my pillow, but to see my parents doing it? No, I've been in therapy ever since. And I said, stop it. Pull apart, you two. Hey, Mom, it's my turn. Close your eyes. And she did. Open up your hands. And she did. And I handed my present into her hands. She looked down and said, oh, honey, my favorite shape, the heart shape. My favorite color, red. Thank you. Give me a kiss. And I said, yeah, let's go with a handshake, Mom. And then my mom said something I never expected. What's inside the box? I don't know. I was 8 years old. I forgot there was an inside. She said, you're so silly. And then she attempted to open up this heart-shaped box. And when she finally pried it open, we realized it was full of crickets. Not one, not five, but dozens upon dozens of crickets jumping out of the box all over the kitchen. And you know, the cat Morgani finally moved for the first time in its life, chasing these crickets. It jumped off the table onto the floor, and Guff saw the cat move for the first time in its life, and it piddled. The dog was so excited, it started to chase the cat, dragging the table behind it. My father held on for dear life. The cat was chasing the crickets. Guff was getting excited, chasing the cat, and pulled on the leg, and it broke away from the table, causing the table to fall down and hit the floor at an angle. At the top of this so-called angle was the orange cake, which is now sliding towards the chair. And on this chair was my mother's brand new blue coat. The cake splattered all over the coat. We're not done yet. Remember the dog with the leash pulling a leg of the table? Ran into the living room with the newspapers all over the floor and the can of paint that I forgot to put the top on. The leg hit the can of paint. It splattered all over. Our blue room now became the red speckled dotted room, which I thought was kind of cool. All over the place. My mother came running into the living room. I was 8 years old. I looked at her and said, Mom, happy birthday to you.